Hello Cancer, how are you? Welcome to your February 2017 Love and General Tarot Card Readings. My name is Jane and this is my channel, International Tarot. Let's go ahead and get started. Also, welcome to Bali. I have been doing my readings split between a trip between Tokyo and Bali, so some of the readings might look a little different if you're watching the ascending signs as well. So let's go ahead and get started with your love reading. Okay, Cancer, here we go. Knight of Swords, interesting. Nine of Wands. Ten of Cups, Ten of Wands, King of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Queen of Swords, and Two of Pentacles. Very interesting. We have a wide range of energies here, but luckily there's no like dark, cards, right? Although I am seeing in the center, though, as your Knight of Swords, this is you coming out as the Knight of Swords, which seems to be a frantic, almost desperate type of energy. I'm wondering if you aren't, like if something happened, right, with you and your partner or someone that you're dating, causing you to feel like up in the air and out of control and feeling like you don't have control of the situation. Unfortunately, I think it's your partner or this person that you're interested in that seems to have a little bit more control, okay? And they're a little bit more in the driver's seat. But I feel that there's like a little bit of tug of war going on, because I'm seeing the 9 and 10 of Wands surrounding the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is a wonderful card to get, especially in a love reading, right? It means happiness and joy and overall victory and but I'm seeing points of contention around that. I'm seeing blockages, and I feel like maybe your partner, not so much you, but your partner or the person that you're interested, really putting up walls, feeling protective, almost kind of like cutting you out of something. I don't necessarily see like a break up per se, okay, but I do see emotional separation happening. Obviously, we don't like to see that in a love reading because it can indicate the first stages of two people kind of going their own separate ways. But I see you willing to fight, okay? I see you willing to put in the time, the effort, and the energy. Like, this is definitely you putting your head down and saying, okay, what do we need to do to make this work? What do we need to do to make sure that each other is happy? And I have a feeling your partner is being incredibly stubborn, okay? Incredibly stubborn, unbendable. I don't like the swords coming out here for you, Cancer, in terms of the characters, because they're more rigid. They can be go with the flow at times, okay, but according to the things around, or the messages around these cards, I feel like it's extremely unbendable. And your partner especially, and your partner in some way I feel has really closed you off, causing even more desperation on your part, even more desire to get to understand why this is happening, why this is going on, why this isn't working, why are we disagreeing? I mean, so many questions I think that you have that this person seems to be unwilling to answer. I feel as though you are putting in a lot of the work, okay? You are the one that's bearing a lot of the load, and for some reason I think your partner is just letting you. You know, this isn't really someone that's usually willing to help. Okay, this King of Swords here. Not usually someone that's willing to help, but someone that will graciously let you do what you feel you need to do. Okay, and you are. You are doing what you feel you need to do. But I sense a lack of communication as well. And this is all for the sake of overall happiness and overall joy. Right? Sometimes you have to work to get this. Sometimes you have to pay your dues to get this. You don't get to go from ace to 10 overnight, right? Like you need to put in your time. You need to get to know one another. You need to develop and change and overcome obstacles and all these things. And you are. But my concern is that maybe they aren't. And it's not that they don't care for you. It's not that they're completely disinterested in you. I just think that they've got a vibe of like not caring. And that's annoying. I feel that this is annoying. I feel that there might be some issue that you're going through that this person is just taking too lightly. Okay? It's just it's almost as though they are like trying to just forget it and to avoid it, but you know that it's something that needs to be done, it's something that needs to be dealt with in order to really have happiness in your relationship. And it's almost as though this person just wants to say, forget it, let's just go have fun, right? And like I said, they're a little bit indifferent to what's going on. They are closing off communication, they're not talking to you, they are not working things out, really putting the ball in your court, really making sure that you're the one that has to do all this work. And while you may feel this desperation, like desperately grasping and trying to hold on to what you have, you do have a coolness about you, and I sense that this is you, Cancer. Again, another sword energy. Cool. I'm wondering if you aren't, even though you feel this way, you aren't behaving this way, which is also distant. It's almost like some type of a facade, right? You're kind of juggling and keeping up two sides of yourself, almost, right? You're trying to hang on, and there's a sense of desperation with that hanging on, and you are also trying to come off unfazed. You're trying to limit your vulnerability, if you will. And you too might be participating in this lightness, which is fine. Let's go have a good time. But at the end of the day, I don't like seeing you doing all the work. It needs to be mutual, and I don't think that it is. I think that your partner is just being stubborn right now, or the person that you're interested in is being stubborn, and they may really be distancing themselves, pulling themselves away. I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to think if I'm feeling inspired to say anything else. I'll pull out another card. Like, the words that are coming to my mind is I feel like you're hanging on by the last thread. Those are the words that are coming to my mind, the last thread. Like, there might be some form of desperate attempt to keep this going. And I really, really, really don't like seeing that you are the one that's bending and you are the one that is trying to accommodate, right? Because it should be a mutual thing that you both are doing to ensure each other's happiness. I know you feel a connection, right? I don't typically get to like a king and a queen of the same suit unless there is a compatibility. And it's almost as though you both are hanging on to something, right? You, again, trying to accommodate more, but you are both in some way hanging on to something. And this is because of some issue. There is something that you both feel passionate about, that you both feel heated about, and maybe sometimes when you talk about it, it gets so heated that you kind of are like, ugh, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. So you just don't talk about it, you just avoid it. But then you're the one left kind of picking up the pieces. You're the one left to bridge that gap because this person's not willing to do that. Sorry if you can hear that. I think that's like the hot water thing. Okay, here we go, final. And the Queen of Wands. This is a very passionate driven reading. It's obvious to me that there is a passionate issue between the two of you. What I'm wondering is if what's happening is that you might not be overthinking it a little bit. That's what the swords represent, right? They represent our thoughts, they represent how we process information, and our mindsets. You're kind of playing two sides of the field, like your mind is going one way and like super crazy, and then it's trying to play it off as being super cool, super chill, like yeah, let's just go have a good time, let's not worry about it, and try to avoid tension and awkwardness in the relationship. And I feel that tactics or antics are being done on both sides, I think, you and theirs. And it's too overthought, right? Like before you act, you think of the consequence. Like if I do this, then this will happen, which normally is not a bad thing, okay? But it can be a bad thing when you overcalculate too much because then it's not authentic, then it's not real. The way you behave becomes manipulative because you're doing something only for the sake of getting a certain response or for the hopes of a certain result, as opposed to behaving in a way that is genuine and real, to accept their genuine and real emotion, their genuine response. Because for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, this may be a relationship where there's an issue between the two of you and it's very one-sided, and this relationship might not work out. But I think some of you are so desperate to hang on because of the coolness of the cool nature of this person. You know what they say, rejection begets obsession. And it's true. The more someone rejects us or the more someone turns a cold shoulder to us, the more we try to be good enough or whatever, interesting enough, relevant enough to them. But that's you here doing this. But then this queen side of you is like, okay, I need to manipulate the situation. I'm trying to get something out of this person. And that is you bending. That is you trying to accommodate this personality that my guess is you don't really understand that well. Your partner is being very confusing. Now the Queen of Wands, all this came out because of the Queen of Wands, because she is passion driven. She doesn't, she thinks, I'm not saying she just acts impulsively. This acts impulsively, but she doesn't overthink. She allows herself to be authentic. She allows herself to be real. Whatever she feels, whatever she thinks, she just allows that to be what it is. And the fact of the matter is, she's looking the opposite direction. Okay, she's looking, let me put these side by side. And I think that there's a part of you that maybe doesn't like this person that much, or that there's something about this person that you don't like that much, or something that they're doing that you don't like that much, and yet you're trying to appease. But they will not give back. See how guarded they are. They have their arm and their sword across their chest. They're ready to fight. If you want to pick a fight, go for it. They are ready to fight. This is a very overwhelmed energy. very overwhelmed in that you are thinking, and doing for the sake of keeping peace and doing for the sake of overall happiness without really thinking or really considering what it is you really truly want. She is someone that will consider what she truly wants. Okay? Also, sorry for the rooster if you can hear. There are so many roosters here. Okay, let's figure this out. Let's do a general reading for you, Cancer. Okay, let's shuffle 3 times. Ooh. Okay, Cancer, strength. 5 of Pentacles reversed. That's good that it's reversed. I'm happy that it's reversed. I feel definitely you're having to exert energy in your life, right? And it could be in your romantic situation or it could be in any situation. There's something going on where you are having to dig deep and you feel as though there are these wild animals, wild issues in your life that need to be controlled. And that can be tiring, that can be exhausting, okay? And I feel like you are on a breaking point of some kind where it's time for you to finally let the walls down, okay? Let the guard down. I feel like maybe you've been fighting for a long time about something, may or may not be the relationship, it could be something else, even just financial status, it could be, especially financial issues that you may be having with the 5 of Pentacles reversed, that you've had to overcome something, okay? Empress reversed, King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Magician, Justice, 4 of Cups, and the 9 of Pentacles. There's certainly something with this holding back, though. There's certainly something with, like, fear, almost, fear of action. Now, you've been doing things. You've been working. Now, a lot of things, especially with this 8 of Pentacles here, you may have found or discovered some solace and some peace in work, some peace in doing things, in creating things, and avoiding issues as well. The Magician here speaks to me in 2 ways. One, a sense of empowerment, okay, feeling an inner strength, and I will use that word strength again with the Magician, internal strength, internal empowerment, realizing and truly captivating your own ability to create, okay? And I feel like there might be an issue, and I'm really leaning toward finances, okay, that you are working to get on top of, all right? That you are working to have better control. Some of you may be going through and working on budgeting. Some of you may be working through, paying off an expense of some kind. This beast could be your finances, okay? Or could be something in your career or your own value set. Meaning some of you might be saying, okay, it's really time for me to become more valuable. What skill can I develop, right? Is it public speaking? Is it a new language? Is it learning a new software programming language? Is it, whatever, something. But to really tap into that internal power of yours in order to capitalize on potential opportunities that could be out there. Now, I'm not seeing opportunities particularly coming in. In fact, there may be a little bit of a delay, right, in those manners, in that manner. Definitely sensing something in the financial realm, though. and that you might be waiting for money to come through. Maybe even if you are in a relationship, you could be waiting for something to come through with your partner, right? And therefore you are the one that has to kind of step up and do the work. I didn't see this before, but this could actually be some of you being more of the breadwinner. Maybe your partner is going through a hard time, and in fact they have maybe closed you off a little bit because they feel less of a person because they are not able to contribute to the relationship financially, and you really are the one that has to bear that load, okay? And you really are doing everything in order to maintain peace. But it's tearing you apart. I think it's really, really hard for you, the Empress in the reversal. There's some element of feeling a little bit of failure on your part. Feeling as though you might be coming up or falling short. This whole light-hearted feeling, okay? I don't know, I feel like that is something that you're doing just to almost avoid the real issues, okay? And eventually it's going to come back, and you're gonna have to pay attention to it, right? You're gonna have to pay attention to the finances. You're gonna have to pay attention to what happens in your career and in your work. And if you're looking for another job offer, at this point in time, I don't see anything new coming in. In fact, if anything new does come in, I think that it's something you're not gonna wanna take. It's really important for you to not forget about yourself. If you are in a relationship, but you're not married, okay, it's important for you to really think about your own finances and to not bear the load of someone else. If you are married and your partner is going through some financial issues, or you have incurred some type of expense together, make sure that you have your own ducks in a row. Okay, it's very, very important. This reading is very much about you and your ability to control something that got out of whack. Okay, now it might not be speaking to you in terms of finances. I'm kind of getting a whole bunch of little vibes here, but I'm speaking as much to the masses as I can. But whatever it is in your life that has gotten a little out of hand, okay, whatever it is that is, I'm going to use the word wild, okay? It's gotten a little unruly. Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the last card. The Hanged Man reversed. So you might be having a hard time seeing things, okay? And that's kind of what I was saying with this, right? I think that there's a little bit of a facade happening where you are kind of playing this role, right? And again, the magician, oh, I forgot to say this. The magician is, maybe I did say it, I don't remember, but again, he's an illusionist, and sometimes he kicks in when we start fooling ourselves, when we start not really being truthful with ourselves about certain things, about people, about situations. He's the master illusionist. That's what he does. That's what he is, right? The good news is all the yellow that we're seeing here, yellow indicating cheer and success and goodness, okay? But I think that you might be having a hard time recognizing either this person's impact on you or this particular situations or this expense or this kind of whatever that's happened to you that has caused some sense of scarcity or some sense of need. Okay, something has definitely happened to you in that realm. And I think that it truly is hard for you to see it. It might be a while before you can really get on top of it, before you can really control, right? This King of Pentacles is also your energy. He is the one that is willing to bear the responsibility, to bear the load. Okay, there's a lot on your shoulders this month. This is kind of a tough reading. It's not negative per se, but it is a little bit tough. And I think you're going to feel the weight of all this responsibility, and that you will have people relying on you to make things right, to make things even, to make things go smoothly, and yada, yada, yada. It can be challenging, it can be tough, and I think you're up for the challenge. I think you can do it, but you might have a hard time really figuring things out, because all in the meantime, you're also trying to maintain peace in your relationship and maintain peace in, keep everything going, keep everything status quo. I feel like that last reading, I was a little bit foggy on the message, so I was just kind of going piece by piece, but this kind of ties it all together, where I think your partner might be the cause of some issues and is not accepting that responsibility, and for whatever reason, you are the one that is accepting responsibility and trying to bridge that gap. Some of you, like I said, I think that you might be, your heart may be leading you in a different direction, okay? And you might even, not saying that all of you are going to have a breakup or all of you are going to get divorced, that's certainly not the case, but a lot of you may feel yourself distancing yourself from the situation, feel yourself distancing yourself from your significant other, because in some way you might feel taken advantage of by someone that you love. They're not a bad person, it's just sometimes we go through hard spots, and they will rely on you. Okay? Alrighty, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that provides some insights. Didn't mean to be so much of a Debbie Downer, but I hope it provides some insight for you. I wish you nothing but the best this month. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month. Bye.